Well, major developments on Capitol Hill today concerning the terror attack on our U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, on 9/11 of this year. In a classified briefing, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper walked House lawmakers through the details of the attack that ended with the death of Ambassador Chris Stevens and 3 others. Director Clapper and other officials trying to answer questions about the Obama administration's handling of intelligence before, during, and after the attack. Joining me now, Florida Congressman Tom Rooney, who is a member of the House Intelligence Committee. He was in that briefing, and he joins me. Congressman, welcome to the program. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Megan. Thanks for having me.
Did we learn anything? Did the ball get advanced this morning?
Well, I got this brief a few weeks ago as a member of the Intelligence Committee, and today it was opened up to the rest of the House. Well, I learned a lot. I learned that we do not have the adequate protection at our compound there in Libya and Benghazi, and if that's the case in other dangerous areas of the world, then we've got a lot of work to do at the State Department to make sure that our people are safe. I mean, here basically we saw closed circuit type television production from the consulate there and the annex, where literally people came walking through the front gate, not storming it, as some people have said. There was basically no security there, and eventually started looting some of the housing quarters, and then lit the consulate on fire, in which resulted in the death of Ambassador Stevens. It was very difficult to watch, because that is technically our soil. That is U.S. sovereign territory, and for people to just walk in like a street mob, light the embassy on fire, our ambassador die without anybody coming to help him, it just made you feel extremely helpless.
There's been so much focus because of the statements that the administration put out there in the days after the attack about mob violence and this being about a video. There's been so much focus on their messaging and what they tried to convince us this was or was not, that to some extent the security situation has gotten a little lost in this. You know, wouldn't you say, Representative Rooney? I mean, we have not been focusing as much on how the ambassador and these 3 other guys, but in particular the ambassador and Chris Stevens, who were there, or the other gentlemen who were there, were left sitting like sitting ducks.
Yeah, you know, as a former federal prosecutor and state prosecutor in Florida, when the FBI briefed us a few weeks ago, that was what my concern was looking at this video, looking at the evidence and trying to find out who's to blame and how can we prevent it in the future, how to keep our people safe. Not so much, you know, I really regret the fact that we've gotten tied up in this whole issue with Ambassador Rice and whether or not she should be Secretary of State. What have we done to make sure that the people that are in these areas now are safe, and how are we going after the bad guys? We kind of lost our way in that, and you know, General Clapper said that, you know, this isn't necessarily black and white. And to get to your point, it isn't black and white. But then why did we come out, and why did the administration come out right after this happened and harp on this Muslim video issue so much? Why didn't they just come out then and say it's not just black and white, there's a lot of elements here? Because there were a lot of elements at play there. Instead, they focused on that one issue, and that caused a distraction. We weren't allowed to talk about it because it was political. So, but now we're in the investigation mode, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of what went wrong and how we can stop it from happening again.
Have you been able to get any answers to why on earth the security was so inadequate there on 9/11 of all days?
It's not adequate enough. I mean, I have my suspicions. My suspicions are that we wanted to portray to the Libyan people that everything was fine. Look how great and normal things are here. It's not normal. I mean, Libya is a borderline failed state. We had security there that was Libyan militia, that if there was anything coordinated on 9/11 that day, it was the coordinated absence of the militia there. They were nowhere to be found when they were supposed to be there. Literally, these people just walked right in. There was no rush or what I had in my mind's eye when I heard about it. What it was versus what I thought it was going to be was totally different. So I think that what we wanted to portray as a country was that everything was fine. We don't have Marines there. To the Libyan people, you don't have to worry about the Americans. We're all good, when it wasn't good. 9/11 is an anniversary date. We know in the intelligence community it's a date where people want to do us harm. Ambassador Stevens should have never been there. And if he was there, we should have had the kind of security that was obviously better than what we had there.
Tom Rooney, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Megan.
All right, see you soon. Well, new fallout today from